what I wanted to talk to you today is a little bit about health and wellness and why having a really good medical team around you that works really well together is so beneficial. So for you girls that don't know me, my name's Debbie Pfingst. I'm a life coach and I help women who have a physical disability or a chronic illness put the puzzle pieces of their lives back together again. You know, it's really tough when you're in there and you're down in the trenches and you're going through all of this, and it's really hard to know sometimes what step it is to take. Well, I'm your lady for that. I'm the lady that's the go-to lady that can help get things all sorted. Just a little bit about me, because I know that we've got quite a number of new members in the group. I'm almost, can you believe it? I'm almost 53. So I've lived with disabilities most of my life, I suppose, because my brother has got cerebral palsy, and it's something that when you're living with a brother who's a bit older than you, you don't even realise that they've got anything wrong with them. So for me, David was always David. So we've always had physical disability or chronic illness in our family there somewhere. So I suppose I take my inspiration from David a fair bit, because he's really gone into, you know, in the trenches, and he's been really in there with such a positive attitude. I don't know why I'm telling you that, but he is. He's quite amazing. So for me, when it all happened to me and my life got turned upside down, it was really crazy, because, you know, you go into the medical profession, you think that they are the ones that are actually in there, and they're the ones that's supposed to be, you know, I don't know, I suppose we used to have them like God, that they knew everything. And then I went into the medical profession actually and realised that, you know, our medical professionals, they're amazing people, but they're just people, and they're just humans like we are, and they all make mistakes, and a lot of the times they're trying to guess what's wrong with you as well, which is really, really tough. And that's why it's really important to have a really good medical team around you, to have the people in there that's really, really supporting you well. You know, I've got some notes here too that I will read off them. So it's really, really, really important to have that around you. You get the best result out of your medical team once you actually have a really good medical team there. You have to have a medical team that are able to, I don't know, I suppose, communicate to each other, to be able to talk to each other. Once you've got that, then you'll find that when they're doing that, and this is really hard to find, when they're actually in there and they're talking and they're communicating with each other, not just you, but communicating with each other, then you find that's when the miracles happen. Because that is when all of a sudden everything seems to click into place, and you are getting the best possible outcomes that you can possibly get. I just want to go back to a little bit of an experience that I've had over the last couple of years. And this will just give you a really good idea why it is so important that you can hire and you can fire your medical team. The way I look at it is that we are the employer, and the doctors and everybody else are our employees. And if they're not getting us the results that we really, really need, we're allowed to fire them. We're allowed to go and get new ones. We don't have to do it in a horrible way or anything like that. What we can do is we can, like, I don't know, not make that next appointment or something like that, or cancel the appointment that you've got. You know, make sure you've got a really good GP that you can talk to about this sort of thing, because then you will be guided by them as well. And if you're not getting the results that you need with one, for goodness sakes, please fire them and get somebody else, because this is your life we're talking about. This is, you know, it's the most important thing that you can do to be able to move you out of where you are now and move you forward. That's what you need to do. So for me, my big dawning moment came quite early because I'd actually been working in the medical profession. But I had really decided that after my last knee replacement, they went in and they did the block. And when they went in and did the block, they hit the sciatic nerve. And I really, really struggled with that because I was in a lot of pain. And you know, the surgeons, they couldn't figure out what to do about it. The GP couldn't figure out what to do about it. But then somebody along the line suggested that I go and see a chiropractor. So then when I went and saw the chiropractor, they realised that I needed some more help and I should probably go and see a podiatrist. Well, by the time I'd got this chiropractor and I had got this podiatrist, they started working together as a team, and they sat down and they had meetings about me and about what would be the next best steps to take. So from going from not being able to walk with a huge amount of pain to having, you know, a plan put in place, because they really got together and they really started to put their heads together to see what was best for me, what I wanted, and what they could do to help improve it. Well, by the time we got to 2 months out, what the surgeons couldn't fix and what the GP couldn't fix, the chiropractor and the podiatrist, I'm having a mind blank, the podiatrist fixed. So it is really, really, really important to be able to do that and to, you know, to take control of our lives. We can sit back because we've been conditioned by the medical profession to sit back and, you know, just believe what everybody's telling you. But you know, you are your best expert. You know your body best. Nobody else knows your body like you know. And if you can get that through to your healthcare team, if your healthcare team will sit and listen to you properly and what you really, really, really want to do, and you can, you know, get that across to them and they listen properly, it is absolutely amazing the results that you can have. So it is absolutely vital to be able to get your medical team right. That was my biggest thing coming into this live today, because I really, really, really want to get that across, that we don't have to sit back and we don't have to be the person that's, you know, the backseat driver, I suppose. We can be in that driver's seat and we can actually ask for what we want. And it's not, and I think also as women, we're not conditioned to do that. You know, some of maybe the younger generation are a little bit more conditioned to that, but the older generation aren't. We're used to being told, you know, having a person of authority to be able to say, look, this is what I think you should do, and when it might not actually be right for us. So what I'd really like you all to do is to get really clear on who is actually on your medical team. Now, it's something that I know it sounds like a given, but what I'd really love you all to do is just to sit down and write a list of who is actually on your medical team. You might be really surprised. There might be some people there that really shouldn't be on your medical team. And it can be right down to dietitians and that as well. So that's what I'd like you to do. I'd like you to sit down, work out who's actually on your team, and make sure that their attitude matches your attitude, and also make sure that they are really listening to what you are saying. And if they're not, fire them and find somebody else, because there are plenty of fish still out there in the sea to be able to do this with. I'm just going quickly through my notes here. So that's your homework. I know, fancy me giving you homework, but that's your homework. Write down a list of your medical team and actually have a really, really good look at them and see whether they are the right people, if they're achieving what you want them to achieve, and if they're not, just move on to the next. I would really love to know whether you do have a really good medical team around you, or whether it's something that you're looking to do, because I know when I first was diagnosed with everything that I was going through, it was something that I had real certain ideas of what I wanted to do. And to actually find somebody who was willing to do that was really, really tough. I can't tell you how many of my medical team I've actually fired. So yeah, I think that's it. I think that's what all I really wanted to just say and get it out there. I know I have talked about this in the past, but I think that as moving forward and as you're looking to, you know, improve your life and everything else like that, I really think that this is the number one thing that you can do to move yourself forward. Make sure that you have these people on your team that are absolutely spot on. And if they're not, fire them. All right, I'm sorry I can't see if there's been any comments or anything like that. I'm doing this on my computer for about the second time and I'm not real flash at it. So I do apologize. But if you've got any questions or anything like that, just leave them down in the comments section and I'll get back to you. I certainly don't mind that at all. All right, girls, thank you very much for joining me. Much love, light and laughter to you all as well. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye.